Warrior, I have to bring this story to you because it ties into a lot of what we do here at the Warriors, our mission of teaching you about headlines and take actions that you probably won't hear anyplace else. Please make sure you are subscribed to our channel. We want to build out, we want everybody to get information, we want you to share these videos, and we want you to know what to do if something happens to you or a member of your family. I want to explain this one to you. I have to. You have to understand. I want you to meet. I live in New York City. Meet New York City's worst pro-defendant. Did you hear what I just said? Pro-defendant judge who frees violent perps. And she allegedly, we have to use the word allegedly, but from everything we're reading in the sources, allegedly, I'm going to just put that in quotations for now, she berates sex crime victims and prosecutors working on their behalves. Now, you know what I want you to know about that? Most victims, most survivors of these assaults, of these abuses, of these crimes, and yes, I'm skirting around algorithms here on YouTube so you get the clear picture. Most of them, this is why they do not come forward. They do not have positive reactions, in the courtrooms. Therefore, with something like this, and this is a woman judge, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Queens Criminal Court Judge Wanda, Wendy, Licitra. What a name. Judge Wanda. Let's call her Judge Wanda. Wendy's too cute for this woman. And especially, I don't even know if that sounds right, a woman doing this to another woman or a young girl, that she is callously just berating them in a courtroom. And did you hear me? She doesn't, she's on the side of the criminals, is what we have to say here. She's considered condescending to sex crime victims. And this makes our victims that we need to really put away these monsters. We need them to go to court and testify against them. And with behaviors like this, they don't want to go. And they tell us that. They say, why should I bother? Nobody believes us. People berate us. People look at us strange like it's our fault. Yet this woman judge, I'm going to tell you again, Queens Criminal Court Judge Wanda, Wendy Licitra, I guess is how she says her name, unless she pronounces it Licitra. I don't even know. But she is the bane of our existence, and that is in a quotation from a Queens district attorney. She has no concerns, their words, not mine, whatsoever for victims of crimes. Can you imagine this? Out of 43 violent felony cases overseen by her between January and June 2024, she said bail on only five of them, and held no suspects in pretrial detention, an 85% release rate. And that is direct information from the courts. She makes me sick. She makes me sick. We need women, especially, to engage each other, educate, and empower, and women in our court systems. And she does this. She does this to her fellow, women in law as well. She knocks them down from what we understand in the courtroom, or she says, I don't want to see that piece of evidence because I'm a big girl and I can decide for myself. I have eyes in my head too. I can hear with my ears. She says all kinds of things, and she is known as this horror story. So I ask you a couple of things. How did she get in this position? Right? Why does she do this? She must be such a miserable, power-hungry woman. Why would she do this to vulnerable people especially? But remember, like I just told you, she's not only doing this to victims of crimes, sex crimes, all kinds of crimes. She's doing it to her fellow people in law enforcement, her fellow prosecutors. And this is a horrible woman. She's 65, okay. She declared a mistrial during summations on a sex crime case recently, because she didn't think the prosecuting attorney was doing a good job. Noting also that she spoke down to the victim. When the case came up for retrial, the woman who testified before her refused to testify again. Now, of course, as I'm explaining to you, these vulnerable people are afraid of law enforcement, step one. It is so hard to get them into courts to testify against the monsters who cause all of this. And without holding them accountable, the traffickers and the pimps, how are we ever going to make headway with all of these sex crimes? And so ultimately, because the victim, right, the woman, she would not come back and retestify, she refused. Well, what do you think happened? The case was ultimately dismissed. And this is problematic of the way victims overall are treated. And it's a very serious problem. Nobody is happy with this judge, so I ask you, we have to get rid of her. And this is a system that is supposed to be protecting our victims, protecting people, and they're acting as though they're the criminals. It's really sad, and I've heard this story over and over again. This Judge Wendy was a former legal aid defense attorney. She earns approximately close to $200,000 a year, and she's also rumored to have no love for assistant district DAs as well, because she's so disrespectful. That is her whole attitude, and that is what she is known for, being nasty. They use the word nasty about her. And also, anytime anybody complains about her, it's just dismissed. So let's have a crystal clear picture of what's going on. Victims who bravely come forward to share their stories, bravely want to hold those who cause harm accountable, because not only did it happen to them, it's happening to a lot of people. And they're treated like this in the court system, and this is why they don't come forward. And this is why, for the most part, they want no part of law enforcement or being part of the system. And you know what? Let's just see a recent case, an assault case. Oh, I remember this case well. It was just wasn't that long ago. A repeat criminal who had racked up 26 prior arrests. And guess what he did? Hulking 6'1" suspect Courtney Jacobs. He was caught on camera choking and beating a LaGuardia airport pilot in full uniform on a city bus on his way to work. And you know what? Guess what happened there? He was simply called a sociopath. This judge decided that she worked very hard to see if he had some sort of mental illness, he could get treatment, things like that. She didn't really, I shouldn't say she worked hard, because she didn't really work hard, this judge, from what I'm reading. Now, of course, I don't know her. I'm not in law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. But this judge would not do anything with this repeat offender. And she simply stated, these are her words, Judge Wendy, I'm a big girl. I'll make my own assessment, because the prosecutor really wanted this guy off the streets after 26 prior arrests. And she decided, you know what she decided? Well, he could have been given this guy a 2-year sentence, but instead was behind bars for just over 3 months. He was released. I remember this case very well. It was prior to Christmas time, prior to the holidays. And what do you think he did in February of this year? He was arrested again and accused. Well, we have him on video. I know what the law, you're supposed to say allegedly and accused and all these things, but he's on video of randomly beating an unsuspecting victim in the face, this time inside a light rail station at JFK Airport. So I think these things are kind of stockpiling up on this Queen Judge Wendy, and we got to get rid of her. And she has been just one after the other letting these people go. I don't want to even call them people, call them monsters, criminals, especially all of these sexual assaults. My goodness, we have to do better. So we have to start speaking up. And what I say to you is get involved wherever you live, your town, your city. I don't care if you're in a rural area. Get involved in what's happening. Who are the judges, right? This also goes for, I digress a little bit here, who sits on your city or town council. Get to know them, because we have to get these people out. These are the types that are causing chaos, harm, escalating costs. Just think how that spirals out into all of the community. Crimes like this, when these perpetrators are not held responsible. And then think of the lifelong trauma a victim has and how their life is ruined, or how the healthcare system is additionally burdened because they need mental health, more physical, medical. It's a whole big cobweb of horror. So let's all talk about Judge Wendy, and let's get her the boot out of New York. And for all the other judges out there, like Judge Wendy, We are coming for you. We're going to be speaking up and be speaking out. Keep track in your neighborhood. Please honor our hashtag community creates change. Keep an eye on things. That is your job. It's 2025. We all can and must do something. But the biggest thing you can do, one, open and honestly always talk to your kids about all issues going on. Let them hear things from you. And two, be a part of everything. And if that means just sharing this video and leveraging one of your platforms online for good, that is good enough, because we need all of you right now to become a warrior. So remember, each and every day when you wake up, go out and be a warrior.